looks like we are good to go.
I see us.
Well, I will rely on.
Hello,
Hey,
everybody.
Awesome.
StuffnThings here.
I'm Squidman.
And I'm HardSelection.
And we are going to be bringing you Mega Man 1 glitchless. The three of us do races on a regular basis, on weekly races. And so we wanted to bring one of these to the No Glitches Allowed marathon. Looking really forward to it. In case you've seen Mega Man a lot before, we are not going to be doing any of that fancy stuff, any of those zips or glitches. The select glitch in this game is really useful, but we don't do that.
Fancy stuff.
And zipping through walls and things like that to skip stages or sections of stages. We don't do that either. We play this game the good old-fashioned way, the way that nature intended.
The way it was intended.
And so I think that's about it for me for an intro. So if you
Yeah.
guys are ready.
Yeah, I think we're ready. Let's
All right, let's
get the
ready
show
up
on the
in
road.
In the IRC, and I'll count down from 5 when it says 5.
I'm scared.
Yeah, so the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to go to Guts stage first because that's how you do it in glitchless. You need Guts weapon to get the magnet beam.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Feels like you're implying there are other options.
There are no other options.
Just crazy.
There's no other
Only way to
options.
play this game.
The only other thing you can do is get caught in ND jail. So yeah, Guts is pretty straightforward.
Kind of the key thing to put out there. So for the classic glitch strategy, you don't go to this stage first.
Yeah, you normally go to cut first.
Yeah, because you can use a pretty impressive glitch to skip a section where you need Gutsman's weapon to grab the magnet beam, which is a pretty useful thing you'll see us use a lot during this run. But since we can't use glitches, we just got to go get it the old-fashioned way. So we're going to start here. Yeah, I'd say this. I don't know. I'd say this level. It's a lot of just about optimizing movement. Get to mash down some pickaxe throwers or miners.
Did everyone make it safely?
I made it.
So far, so good.
Yay!
We're coming up on Big Blue, our favorite Big Eye, and Big Blue is very trolly. He doesn't let you get through very easily.
Oh,
There's a decent amount of like RNG.
And I got the
This game,
absolute
for sure.
troll pattern right there. Big Blue looked like he was going to let me jump over him, and he jumped right up into me.
Yeah, so Big Blue, there's another variant that's Big Red. It basically is a 50-50 chance whether he'll jump high or jump small. And we usually want him to jump small so we can get over it without taking any damage. At least at this stage. But, you know, sometimes you're not so lucky.
And we should be all in the Guts dance.
oh, Guts is just sitting there throwing blocks at me.
I got a good pattern.
Gutsman is kind of a cool fight because if you're on the ground when he lands, he'll actually stun you. So that's what we call the Guts dance. We're going to have to jump and kind of time your jump so you're off the ground when he hits the deck. And then you also have to dodge his rocks, which kind of throws up the pattern a little bit too. So it can be kind of a fun.
Now, normally you do Guts
fun
last
rhythm.
in the glitch category, the 80% category, and you do it with Bomb Man's weapon, Hyper Bomb, and you use the select glitch to kill Guts. But in this category, no can do, and Hyper Bomb is such a terrible weapon that it's actually just faster to kill him with Buster.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Cutman, I'd say a lot of optimized movement in this level. You're going to see probably coming up to got a lot of these turrets. You're just going to have to quickly maneuver your way through. Hopefully you don't take any damage from them. And then we're going to come up to the first corner jump of the run.
Whew, made it.
So that's kind of a fun jump because basically, you know, if you go too far, you fall off the ledge. But if you go just the right spot, you can jump and not bonk your head and wrap around the corner.
Now we're in the Susie section. These little eyeball things are called Susies. They really are. And they can either give you a terrible RNG pattern or a really good RNG pattern or something in between. So your time in this stage is really governed by these little Susies.
It's one of the hallmarks of playing glitchless Mega Man 1 is that it's really RNG heavy. And I got some of the worst patterns from those Susies.
I did okay.
But we're okay. We're not going to get the health of shame.
Yeah, and really the key about this is just And what he means by the health of shame is that towards the end of the level, we have to deal with another big guy here. And
Big Red was mean to me.
if he gives you bad luck and jumps low and hits you, he does a lot of damage. So if you take a lot of damage through the level, so I'm at really low health right now, but I survived luckily.
Dude,
And,
did you-
no, I mean I was in the margin of error, but it was close. I had 3 bars of health after.
Oh, good.
All right, so another thing about glitchless is you're not allowed to duplicate these blocks. You might notice that in some stages, like for example in the bubble stage, Wily 3, later on in the game, there's a set of blocks that kill the boss. Usually you duplicate those blocks with a glitch in order to kill the boss really fast, but you can't do that in glitchless. Now we come to a Lek stage, which is probably the worst stage in all of the categories of Mega Man 1.
I'm dreading it already.
I already took a hit, too. Yeah, it's a very vertical stage, so we're going to do a lot of climbing. We're going to do a lot of things to try to not climb ladders too much, because climbing ladders is kind of slow. It takes a while, so once we get the magnet beam, we're going to try to jump up things instead of just climb ladders.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of little tricks you can do with ladders in this game, which is kind of fun. Oh, I just took damage. One is that you'll see that when Mega Man gets to the top of a ladder, there's just kind of this little animation where he kind of climbs up and gets off the ladder. But if you jump right at the top, right where you're in the middle of that animation, you can actually cancel it and save some frames.
So, I just did the corner jump. I'm sure others are there or getting there. The corner jump is terrifying. Once again, it's like a 1 pixel jump to get around that corner.
First try
for Squidman. I did the little safety tiptoe up to the edge to stand on the pixel that I need and then get around the corner. And you can just run at it like Squidman did and be a professional and and do it a lot faster.
Don't worry, my cut man was terrible, so
okay.
We're even.
Here's the magnet beam. This is where you would normally, if you were playing all stages, you would use a glitch and go get this without throwing these blocks, but this is glitchless.
Alright, so yeah, Magnet Beam. It's a pretty cool weapon. You kind of place these additional little platforms you can jump off of. And it definitely makes a lot of interesting movement in this game.
It's very useful for making glitches and zips happen, but we don't use it for any of that.
Yeah, instead we just kind of get the benefit from a faster vertical movement and getting across a lot of obstacles without having to.
Oh, Big Red, my friend.
Oh,
this final climb here is terrifying. And
all these
especially when you miss
terrifying.
a beam like that the wrong way.
This entire stage.
Oh, Big Red. I'm in a really bad health situation.
There we go. Half of it, I got it right.
Yeah, me too. I got half of it right. Oh well.
Oh, it's a good thing I had health. The Lek-Man hit me by some miracle.
How you doing, HardSelection?
I almost didn't make the climb, but we're still alive.
Still going.
Gotta survive the Lek fight.
I see a question in chat. No, we cannot use the select strats versus bosses. You're going to see that the most when we get to Yellow Devil in Wily 1. We have to fight him the old-fashioned way and hit him a whole bunch of times without using select.
The Yellow Devil glitchless fight, it's the best. You are going to love it.
It lasts for almost an entire minute. It's awesome.
Iceman stage. One of the stages that I frequently do twice by accident. So something to look forward to.
So nice. He likes to do it twice.
That's right.
And this is one of those stages where using the magnet beam is saving a ton of time so that we don't have to run through the water, do these Yoku blocks in this screen.
Yeah, this stage actually has a bunch of interesting mechanics. So one is that the ice you actually like slide around on, so you gotta be careful about that in terms of your movement. You can actually like fall off cliffs by accident if you're not careful. The other part, if you're in the water, you have reduced movement speed. So I think you have, 75% or something. So ideally, we want to stay out of the water as much as possible. And then, yeah, Yoku blocks a classic, everyone's favorite Mega Man mechanic, but luckily we can use the Magnet Beam to skip them unless we make a mistake.
I did make a small mistake. I had to go get the refill.
Definitely also made a mistake.
Oh, Big Red hit me in the face. Gave me that troll pattern where he does the jump you want and then the jump you don't want, so...
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. I had to get a refill there, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
You're just trying to keep this close.
Yeah, I accidentally used an extra beam, so we messed up a little bit, had to...
Yeah, so luckily there's if you miss up some beams, there's a backup strat where you can kind of grab a refill in the middle of that big section with the big gaps, but
the last thing you want to do is have
but
to go
not
through...
a huge loss.
The last thing you want to do is have to go through the platform section, because those platforms are super bad.
Yeah.
Super glitchy. They don't know. There's no like telling when they're going to go left and when they're going to go right. So you kind of just have to hang out there and wait on those platforms. If you've ever seen a Buster only run of this, it's just kind of a nightmare. Just go back and forth on those platforms.
Yeah, a lot of RNG. Yeah, the Buster only run's actually interesting because they actually start with the stage usually just because of how frustrating and bad luck it can be.
That's true, yeah, because the RNG is so heavy there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're coming to fire. So HardSelection, you want to talk about the different strats, the correct one versus the...
Oh yes. Oh yes, I do. Yes, I do. So,
I just fell in the lava.
Oh no. Well, see, once again, just illustrating the point that our strats are better. But anyways, so you'll see. Interesting thing about this level. So there's basically two main strategies, if you will. One, the one and only real strat, using the ice weapon to freeze a lot of these fire columns, and then you can kind of jump off them and get some movement that way. And another common approach is to use Magnet Beam instead. So you'll notice a big difference between where Squid and I are going to be using the ice strats, and StuffnThings uses the beam strats.
And I'm trying to use beams, but I'm not doing a very good job. Beams are hard. In my defense, I've picked up some new strats in this stage with beams, and I'm trying to use those, and I'm doing a very poor job of it.
Likely story.
The really terrible thing about fire stage is that there's fireballs that like to fall from the sky in parts of the stage, and those, the way that they fall, the direction they fall, and is all RNG, and sometimes you just get hit.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Yep. And there's not much we can do about it without the select glitch. Just gotta take your lumps.
I'll take 2 lumps, please.
Woo! Just squeaked under that fireball there.
Well, I might have had terrible other stages, but my fire stage, pretty good.
Fireman fight's pretty fun. Fireman's just like a crazy boss, especially for like a casual runner. He just throws fireballs like madness, and he can be a little overwhelming if you're playing this game.
Yeah, when I was a kid, he was really scary because you were like, what do you do? There's fire everywhere.
But luckily, if you have enough health through the stage, you can pretty much just brute force and gun them down. Alright, so hopefully we're all getting into Bomb Man stage now.
Yeah, I just finished off Fireman. I'm probably in the back now.
Now, I will say, and I was joking about this a second ago, so Bomb Man, you have to go all the way around the menu to get to the stage. So you have to do 3 left or 3 right to get to it.
You said that right when I was about to menu. I was like, 1, 2, 3.
So it can be a little scary because it's very easy to miss one of those inputs and then you accidentally do fire or ice again. So the joke is that during races, whenever we race, I always end up doing ice twice because I accidentally select it. And the bad part about both the Iceman and the Fireman stage is that there's no easy way for you to kill yourself in the beginning of the stages.
Yeah.
So you lose a lot of time with a mistake like that.
So in this stage, there's a neat little thing coming up called, well, just beaming over Joe, basically. And so we use the magnet beam to get over the Sniper Joe, who likes to come and give you hugs constantly. Just a real nice guy, real friendly, just wants to give you hugs. But we use the mag beam here, just get over that and skip that whole part.
Yeah, you'll see that I actually use the legacy pleb strategy of I use ice here as well, where I just freeze him. You lose a little bit of time because you have to do some additional menuing and some additional movement around the stage, but it's a little just easier for a newer player to learn.
Definitely a lot safer. I kind of miss the comfort of the ice strat there some days.
I believe it. I'll have to learn one of these days, the beam strat, but not today.
Oh, Sniper Joe shot me in the face. He's not supposed to do that.
You guys go for the knockback on Joe? I always try to get him so he knocks me back into the door.
Into the door, yeah. You try
Yeah,
to,
you can
but
always do
sometimes
it.
he doesn't let you, like me. Yeah.
Oh, really great bomb fight. All right, let's go. So now we're out of the Robot Masters. Unlike the other Mega Man, classic Mega Man games, only 6 in Mega Man 1. 6 Robot
Yeah, that's
Masters.
different.
Good
The
bomb
model
fight.
changes to 8 and stays that way for the rest of the games.
And now we're going to come up
Big
to
grass.
some really awesome mechanical things in this stage involving Beam and the best fight in all of Classic Mega.
Oh, yes.
The glitchless Yellow Devil fight.
Prepare yourself.
So good.
The start of this stage is pretty interesting, too. So we have those big guys. And like I said before, they do a lot of damage. So, and there's actually 3 of them in the beginning of this stage. So if you get hit by all 3, you're in a really bad situation. So ideally, you can actually freeze them at the perfect height where Mega Man can just squeak underneath.
And as you said that, I got hit by
With this
one.
little
Yeah, me too.
hop.
Why is this happening?
Dang it! Dang it,
Sorry, guys.
HardSelection! You
My
cursed
bad.
me with your commentary! And you're racing!
Oh, and I'm stuck.
Uh-oh.
Get out of here. There we go.
I'm really happy that that's named after me when you get stuck in those fiery Cheetos down there. I call them the
Yes.
Cheetos.
So those jumps are actually, even though it looks pretty mundane, those jumps are, you have to get right on the edge of the jump, otherwise you bump your head and you get stuck, which you saw me get. I got stuck like 3 times, but
You only got a few pixels to work with there.
yeah, and then there's a couple of scary jumps like that with these spikes, which are basically insta-death. You can't, if you get hit by the spikes or fall into spikes, it's,
Oh
there's no
yeah,
coming back.
unlike Mega Man's 2 through 6, you do not get iframes when you're on spikes. Spikes will just kill you, no matter
Yep.
what. If you're
No
an
mercy.
iframe, you touch those spikes, you're dead.
I don't know what Wily was thinking when he nerfed the spikes.
I know. Wily
Keeping
really
Mega Man
nerfed
at
this.
bay.
Really just needs to make a spike Robot Master.
Right?
I
Just
know.
cover it in spikes.
Ladders and
And it
spikes were
shoots spikes.
Wily's greatest inventions.
Alright, guys, I'm terrified. I took a lot of damage in that stage, and I'm at Yellow Devil. I can only safely take 1 hit.
I feel so good about this. You got this.
You got this.
All right, so here we go.
We're gonna do all
So
the
during
dodges.
With the glitch strategy, you can use that to your advantage to kill Yellow Devil in 1 cycle, but we're not going to do that because that's crazy. We're not dirty cheaters.
Yeah,
So we're just going to do it like it was intended.
How many cycles is
Where you're
this?
only
8?
supposed to
7, I believe.
7? I don't even
Yeah,
know.
it's 7 cycles.
Lucky number 7. And we use the elect beam for this because the elect beam has a nice vertical, it kind of zigzags up and down, takes up a lot of space, and given that the eye spawns in kind of a random position on his body, it kind of increases your chances of not missing, which can be devastating, and then you have to do another whole cycle, which, as you can see, takes a little bit of time.
And it does 4 damage.
And each boss has 28 health, so it's 7 cycles.
Oh, there you go.
We can do basic math! Woo!
Yay!
So the game is programmed with a certain flag in there that makes it so you can only hit this boss once per cycle. However, pressing the menu or the select button nullifies that, so you can hit him more than once per cycle. But that's a glitch, and we don't do that.
All right.
Okay, guys, I'm alive.
All right.
Stuff and jump to
survived.
victory.
Did we all survive?
Thanks, Tubes. The stuff and jump. I don't know if I actually came up with this, but it's something I was doing in this game since I was a kid. I discovered that if you jump after the 3rd piece of Yellow Devil goes past you, and you jump a big jump just to the side, you'll jump over 2 of his pieces without getting hit.
Blew my mind the first time I saw it.
All right, Wily too. I don't know. Did we all make the jump?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I made this scary, terrifying jump. The first
All
jump
right,
in
so
that screen is
that
really
jump,
hard.
That jump, I guess we made it look easy, but something to know about that jump. It's that little helicopter clown-looking guys. If you get hit by one of those, it just knocks you right into that pit. So you have to do this little nice, perfect little finesse jump and land on the platform to give you enough time to shoot him in the face so you don't get knocked back.
Fun
So it's
fact,
a little scary.
Wily 2 is the stage where you do 2 of the Robot Masters refights for no reason.
Fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Isn't it?
Whoa! Blickman almost shot me, but we got
Alright.
Alright, 3 fights over.
So we're coming up to the clone fight.
It did not get a bomb
Reprised.
sneak.
Reprised in Mega Man 3.
I almost got bomb killed, but I survived.
Yeah.
So another scary part there, if you get hit by one of those bombs, it can also knock you into the pit, which can be pretty devastating because there's really no good checkpoint in this level. So you basically have to redo the whole stage.
There are actually 3 checkpoints in this level, but the
They're terrible.
last 2 checkpoints are in that vertical drop section. So I have no idea why they put the checkpoints there. Like, it's basically
Cruel design.
90% of the stage, and then you find the first checkpoint. So
Okay, I got
you
an
do
extra
not
life,
call it.
so that means I'm gonna win, because we all know that extra lives in Mega Man 1 are lucky.
This is true.
Well, I got an extra life in Gut stage, so...
Yeah, Wily 2 extra lives are better.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Another classic Mega Man 1 fight, the clone fight. So, a fight for a casual player, this fight can be pretty frustrating
Absolutely.
and very difficult and confusing. But it really just comes down to some rhythm, and then
The clone comes at you, and you don't know what weapon to use when you're playing it casually, and he runs at you and shoots the same weapon that you have, and he does way more damage to you, including contact damage to you. And so, you know, when you were a kid playing this game, you might have, like, just given up. Even if you got past the Yellow Devil, you might have just given up there because the clone was frustrating.
Yeah.
So we use fire weapon because it's just, it does the most damage to him and does the least amount of lag. So it's just
and that fire shield's helpful too,
Yeah,
in case he gets too
It's
close
easy
to
to
you.
hit him with that nifty fire shield.
Yeah, you get a second line of defense.
Oh, I got hit anyway. Trying to sneak past those Susies and I failed. So this is a point in the game where if you're playing all stages, there is a massive zip where you're up at the top of the screen, flying through here. You don't have to do any of this running through the water and jumping over these penguins and bullets.
this glorious trek towards the bubble boss.
Yeah, this is a victory march is what this is.
Wily knows you're coming.
The walk of shame, as they call it in 80%, though, for all stages. Because if you miss the zip, it can be a pretty devastating loss. But for us, you know, it's just a time to reflect on how your run's going and how you're feeling that day.
So this is the part where you'll see in 80% all stages, they'll duplicate blocks. But you can't do that, so you gotta beat the first 3 bubbles with Buster, and then we can use the rest of the blocks in the stage.
Well, I got all top bubbles for my first 3, which is about as bad as it gets for the RNG.
Yeah, so ideally we want them all to come from the left, which makes it nice and easy to Buster down. But, you know, this game's a lot of RNG, so it is what it is.
Where are you, Squid?
Doing a climb.
Oh, you're already at the climb. Okay.
I'm just getting out of the bubble now.
Me too. Woo! The race for second.
All right, here we go, Wily 4. As they say, it always comes down to Wily 4.
That climb
There's
was
another big
pretty
zip in
ugly,
Wily
but
4
that's
that you
okay.
would see in 80% all stages, but we walk through all those twirlers.
Oh my gosh, I missed that beam. Okay, so now I get to do something extra slow. HardSelection, this is all yours.
My climb,
I
no,
just-
my climb was bad too. I didn't do it.
Oh, I'd use Elec to get the beam refill because I messed up the beam to go get it. It was too low. It was weird. I don't usually overstep
Yeah,
that.
so something interesting about this game. So when you start the Wily stages, you have a certain amount of ammo, and then you have to hold on to that throughout all of the Wily stages. So some of the strats that we use, it's all about conserving beam ammunition, so that by the time we get to this part, we'd have just enough to use some at that climb, just so we can speed it up. I don't know, Squid, if you got the good climb, but you can kind
I
of
did.
see what the benefit of getting it looks like.
I got a very good climb.
So that can be a pretty big time save. Given that in all stages they're a lot more, you know, dependent on the beam for zips and such, you won't usually see that in all stages runs. You also see a little bit of a deviation from our strats, where Stuff and I use one way to kill Fireman, where Squid uses a different strat.
The HS fight.
Yes, my fight, yes. And then we get to wrap it up with a good
Oh,
old
perfect
Gunman
guts.
fight.
Perfect guts.
I'm too busy yapping and not enough guts in it. So yeah, the Wily Machine. Basically, there's only 2 phases, and just got to be really kind of health conscious.
Woo! All right.
As you can see, I'm already out of ammo, so kind of a backup strategy is to switch the cut. And there we go.
GG's, guys.
GG's. We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
And according to my splits, I did get a 23, even though SRL says I got 24 flat.
I wasn't even having splits running.
Oh, I always have to run splits. You never know.
I just went for the natural leg through, I guess.
Yes. In SRL, it's saying that Squid's time was 23:35. Mine was 24 flat, and HardSelection was 24:16. But pretty tight race overall. I mean, we were all within a minute, so that's a good race.
Yeah, within 40 seconds of each other, I think, or 45 seconds about. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Great race.
That's pretty tight.
That's a victory for me, I would say.
Yeah.
I'm usually the caboose in our races, but
Yeah.
one day.
You got a nice caboose, HardSelection.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. Small victories.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. It's been fun.
Yeah, I don't know if we said. I forget if we said at the beginning, but if you like what you saw here, we do a race night every Wednesday night, 11 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to check out any of our streams. We usually host a multi-Twitch, and yeah, we do this every week. So
and anyone interested in Mega Man 1 glitchless, if you want to play, if you want to race, you'd be more than welcome to join.
More the merrier.
All right, I think that's it for us.
All right. Thanks everybody. Have a good night.
It's good.